on the minutes. Okay. All right. It's actually after 9 o'clock. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. There's going to be one deviation from the agenda. We are going to add the Pledge of Allegiance back to the order. It's not on there today, but I'm going to ask that we go ahead and rise and say the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I want to thank you all for being here. I'd like to introduce you to the new Board of Works. We have Chris Armstrong on the end. We have Ron Miller next to me, and me, Chad Franklin. Moving right along, would ask for approval of the minutes. I know this is going to be somewhat difficult since none of us were here for the last meeting, but we trust that the Clerk Treasurer's Office has them right, and they are open for discussion.
Hearing no questions or discussion, I'd move for the approval of the minutes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any objection? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Approval of claims. Have your packets in front of you. Any questions? Claims amount to a total of $311,866.89.
Hearing none, I will move for approval.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Approval of licenses. I see Deb O'Connor in the audience today. Deb, I want to welcome her back, even though officially she hasn't been gone. She's going to be acting to run the building department until we can formalize and finalize the details with the county and switching over the building commissioner's spot to the planning department. But Deb is back now. She has many qualifications. She's a certified building inspector, as well as the person who's run the office and probably been there longer than anybody. But having said that, I would ask, Deb, do you have some license requests?
Basically, they're contract registration.
Right.
I have a meeting at time to count them this morning.
Okay.
Something that has to be
Right.
taken care of.
Yeah, I know they're coming in. If you would, prepare that for us for next week. I know the licenses are good for a year, and they come in all year, so it's not critical that it be done today. So, additions to the agenda? Is the Clerk Treasurer aware of any?
No, but I know.
Okay. Ron or Chris, any additions or deletions from the agenda?
No.
Okay. All right. Moving right along. Okay. Logansport Police Department Officer Promotion. Chief Neer, you come to the mic.
Sure.
You have
What do you want?
that mic.
All right, I didn't know where you were. I've never been there.
Not mic near the microphone. Okay. All right. You have made a request. I apologize. We don't have it in our. Nope, there it is.
Should
Toward
be
the
there.
back. Okay. You have a request for officer promotion. You enlighten us.
Britt Edwards, he was a patrolman. We'd like to promote him to a first sergeant, night shift.
Okay. And you have one more request.
Yeah, I've got the 2011 monthly reports, if you want me to go ahead and read that off to you.
I'd rather you tell us about Officer Jesse Huggins at this right now.
He's going to be retiring here as soon as his vacation days end up for 2012,
Okay.
and then he'll officially be retired.
Okay.
And I believe that's like February 25th.
Where's he been?
He's been on military leave.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so it's my understanding that Officer Huggins has been on military leave for a couple years?
Yeah.
And he has since come back from military leave, worked a day?
Worked the last day of 2011,
And
and
now
then he
he-
worked the first day of 2012.
Okay, so he plans to retire after that?
Yeah, he's
So
already filled out.
officially, we have to return him to active duty on the police department?
That's
Okay.
correct.
And that's really all we're asking for today? is-
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, he hasn't officially retired yet.
Okay. Questions from the board?
Just for information purposes, on Officer Huggins' letter of December 21st, he refers to, quote, "I do not desire to continue my health insurance for Title 38 U.S. Code Section 4317." What is that?
Honestly, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I'm not up on the military codes.
It just says he doesn't want health insurance.
Correct, correct.
If it helps, I don't think he can have both.
When he goes on military leave, he has the option of staying on our insurance when he's on leave, and that's the USERA code, which applies to the military personnel. When he comes back, we are required to put him back on our insurance, but he has requested no insurance.
Thank you.
Okay. Discussion from the board? Entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of Chief Neer.
I would make a recommendation that we approve both requests.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any objections, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Logansport Fire Department, Chief Strong. Thank you, Mike.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What you got going on?
I got quite a bit going on. I've asked the board to, Randy Rife, who's been an assistant chief for the last year, has requested to go back to the rank of Latterman at Station 4 on B shift. I'd like to have Mike Willington reassigned as a house captain at Central on A shift. Kenny Ott, I'd like to have reassigned as a staff officer on A shift. And both of these guys were assistant chiefs too, and they're just going back to their former rank that they were before. And then I also have some promotions I'd like to present and ask for approval. I'd like to promote Jason Nolde to from staff officer to captain at Station 4 on B shift. Jason's a 12-year veteran of the fire department. He's a former U.S. Marine. He's a highly trained fire officer, hazmat technician, and EMT, as well as many other things. So I'd really like to see him be promoted. Gary Chambers has been in the fire service for over 15 years, 10 of it with Logansport. I'd like to see him promoted to training captain on A shift, and he'd be replacing me. That's a job I did before. Gary's a highly trained firefighter in many areas. He's also a hazmat technician and an EMT. And then Jason Miller, I'd like to see promoted as training captain on C shift. He will also serve as our investigator on any arsons. He's a certified arson investigator. And Jason has served the department for almost 10 years now. He's a highly trained firefighter, instructor, investigator, hazmat technician. He's a rope rescue technician and advanced EMT. So all these guys are top-notch, and I'd like to see that approved.
Pardon me, I could assume that all these positions are currently vacant?
Yes, sir.
For the people that are moving up?
Yes.
Okay, so you're not just creating positions?
No.
I just want to make that clear. Further discussion? Entertain a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And next on our agenda is workman's comp discussion. I have Pam Lehman here. I would ask Pam to come to the mic. I just want to make sure that everybody's up to speed on this, where we're at. Pam has a history on this, and Brett. I'm sorry, Brett, I didn't even see you sitting back there. We just ask you to, I sort of came up to speed on this last week a little bit, but it was before I was officially mayor, and this is the first Board of Works meeting that we've had since then. So we need to, as a board, take official action on this before the clerk treasurer's office can proceed. So, having said that, I'd ask Pam to give us a brief synopsis of what's occurred, how we got here.
Well, it's my understanding that you kind of wanted an overview of what we are doing with the workers' compensation insurance.
Right, and a little bit of history with it.
Pardon me? Okay. Brett can probably give you a little more history than I can in terms of the losses that we've incurred with the city and LMU, which this year made our market activity pretty limited in what we were able to offer the city as a result of this significant claims that we've had over the last, well, really 5 years. We have tried implementation of a lot of different safety programs, return to work programs, of which LMU and the city have both been extremely involved in doing over the last few years. We have actually cut our claims count in half. However, we've had some large losses, some severity going on that has put us in a position of offering a different program this year and offering a self-insured workers' compensation program, of which for the city the actual fixed cost will be $57,481.60, and they will need to provide an initial loss fund deposit of $12,800. And Mayor Fincher did sign the documents prior to leaving office, but I think because the insurance went effect 12/31 and new administration on 1/1, translation kind of got a little bit boggled, and everyone was a little uncertain as to what they were supposed to be doing with that. I think in the past, funds had always been earmarked prior to the end of the year, and my understanding is it had not been this year. So, you know, we're here, we're willing to answer any questions that you have, or any comments, or...
I'd just like to make a comment. I think that to kind of reiterate what Pam just said, you know, we do have a long history with the one true combined coverage between Logansport Utilities and the city. What we basically had was, I feel like because of the claims history, because of all the strides, the positive strides we've made by cutting our incidents down, we really have an opportunity. And the opportunity was to look at a new self-insured type workers' compensation program that really is not available to a lot of risk. In this case, what we know is, even in a maximum occurrence scenario, is we feel like we've limited the exposure. We know that based upon the last 8 years, that we've only had one occurrence that has actually exceeded $200,000, and that's basically the occurrence out-of-pocket maximum that we would have in any one workers' compensation injury incident, whatever that may be. So when we looked at the numbers and really compared it to a fixed dollar cost, again, even though the claims history hasn't been positive, we truly feel like this was an opportunity for both the city and Logansport Utilities to look at a new type plan. If the trend continues the way that we think it will, as we discussed in a meeting that we had last week with our new mayor, Franklin, it makes a lot of sense. From a dollar cost standpoint, it really does make a lot of sense, and that's why we made the transition.